Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Lasso TV. I'm Michael Murphy. This week, we'll have a snow special hosted by Jack West. But before that, here are 5 things you need to know for next week. Tomorrow, Saturday, January 7th, the GMHS robotics team has their 2017 season kickoff. On Tuesday, January 10th, there are 2 boys basketball games. The JV game starts at 6, and the varsity game starts at 7:30. Wednesday of next week, that's January 11th, is a short Wednesday. Also, the girls' JV and varsity basketball teams have games. Be prepared to see the first graders from Mount Daniel on Thursday. They will be in the auditorium putting on their first grade concert all day. And on Friday, January 13th, that's Friday the 13th, there are girls' JV and varsity basketball games, and they start at the regular times with JV at 6 and varsity at 7:30. We now go to Jack West for this week's snow special.
Hi, I'm Jack West, and welcome to Lasso TV. This week, we'll be doing a snow special, and we'll be going around asking students how they're preparing for the snowfall, asking teachers how they're preparing for the snowfall, and asking maintenance how they're preparing for the snowfall. In case you forgot, let's get a recap of last year's Snowzilla.
From January 22nd through 24th, 2016, a major blizzard produced up to 3 feet of snow in parts of the mid-Atlantic and northeast United States. Here in Falls Church, we had a little over 2 feet of snow, causing Falls Church City Public Schools to close all schools for a total of 6 days. This was the second snowfall that exceeded 2 feet in the last few years, with the last storm occurring in February of 2010. The Falls Church City school system is often criticized by students and parents alike every time a 2-hour delay or snow day is called. As for the snowfall of 2016, the students let it be known through Twitter that they wanted a snow day by posting using the hashtag #CloseFCCPS. One student posts, "I slipped on a patch of ice on my way home from the bus. My butt hurts. #CloseFCCPS." The superintendent of FCCPS, Dr. Tony Jones, responded to all the tweets writing, "School is closed tomorrow. It must have been the influence from the Close FCCPS group last night. Seriously, stay warm and safe. #FCCPS." After 6 days off, students reluctantly left the cool white powder and returned to school.
So now that we know a little bit more and are reminded of last year's Snowzilla, let's go ask students how they're preparing for this year's snowfall.
So snow days are something you're supposed to enjoy. So you don't do anything you don't want to do on a snow day.
I don't have to go to school, so it's always a plus.
Okay, how do you think the administration deals with snow days?
I think it's alright. I don't like how 2-hour delays count as snow days.
Do you take it as an opportunity to work on your homework
Definitely.
or to study? No?
No,
How do you think the school dealt with the snow days last year?
there were definitely not enough snow days.
What do I do on snow days?
Yes.
Pretty much nothing, but isn't that the point?
I think the school system didn't react well to snow days. I mean, we got nearly a whole week off, so I was not complaining about that.
So that was the student opinion. Let's go see how teachers are preparing for this year's snowfall.
Our first question, Mr. Duche, is how would you help prepare students for a large snowstorm?
So this is my first year at this school. In my previous school, we were like way out in the country and didn't have any internet for the most part. So it was different than here because we couldn't do anything over the internet. So we would typically give some kind of reading or try to prepare them with things that they could do non-electronic.
Well, I would tell them that the work is in the school sheet, it's posted, and it will be due when class next meets. So if there's a snow day, I treat it as a gift, and it's a surprise.
So I always use Schoology, and if there's a chance that we might not have school, I typically post something on there saying your homework is still due. If it's something that they're going to put into the Schoology Dropbox, then saying snow doesn't excuse you from doing it, it's still due. Or if it's something that we were going to do in class, letting them know when.
So for a due date assignment, that would be pushed back because not every kid has technology at home to be able to send me the work. If it's just a reading assignment or something that they would be doing at home anyway, I would still expect them to do that. Now they even have more time. So I would just say, just do the reading.
All right, lovely. The second question is what type of schoolwork would you assign if you think that school might be canceled the next day or next class?
So reading.
I think reading is a big thing that I would probably assign. Maybe some Edpuzzle videos.
There was also one year that we had a poetry research paper, and so I said, you've got internet connection, or you can shovel yourself off to the library and you can work on your poetry research paper. So
All right, lovely.
snow is a great time to read.
Thank you very much.
Right now, I'm actually standing on the roof of George Mason, the top of the auditorium to be specific. And back behind me, you can see the athletic fields, you can see the main gym, and over there the cafeteria and the science wing over here. And there's the bus loop. And last year during Snowzilla, where I'm standing now, would have been packed 3 feet high with snow. And when snow melts, water comes down and freezes on the bottom. So there are a couple of safeguards on our roof to prevent against that. As you can see, these drains over here, these drains are supposed to catch all of the water and funnel it off so before it can freeze in time. But sometimes these drains, as you can see, they're pretty small. So what happens when these drains freeze up and clog? Well, what happens is all throughout where I'm standing, a thick layer of ice will form on the bottom of the snow. And it's that ice that causes damage to our roofs. And that damage is almost evident in pretty much any single rainstorm, as the leaky ceiling tiles throughout our school. And even in the auditorium, back over there, the drain broke and water and ice came in and damaged the stage. And you can even see that some of the stage is warped and damaged from that ice and water damage. So the real question for our school is, how is maintenance preparing for this snowfall? How are they going to prepare for stopping all of these problems in lieu of the disaster with Snowzilla last year? Let's go to Taylor in the field to find out more.
Last year in Virginia, we had a whopping amount of snow. This was the cause for the cancellation of school and an extra long winter break. The students of George Mason weren't able to go to school because of many safety violations. Reports included falling snow, black ice, and even some kids slipping on their way into school. Stay tuned to find out how GMHS prepares for the snow weather. Hi, I'm Taylor Cannon here with Lasso TV, and here I'm here with Brian Fowler. So, what do you guys do to prepare for the snow?
We pull all the equipment out, make sure everything's working. If we need to order any parts, this would be the time we do it. Oil everything up, grease it, get a load of salt in, just have everything ready to go.
So what type of equipment do you use to move the snow and keep the school safe for the students?
We actually have 4 trucks equipped with snow blades to actually plow the snow up, and we have 2 that have actual sanders on the back so we can spread the salt and ice melt. The public works with the city, works hand in hand with us to make sure that everything stays open.
So how long does it take to do this? When do you start?
It actually would depend on the amount of snow. If we're going to get just a 2 or 3 inch snow, you can plow it all in one pass. If you're going to have a big snow like we had last year, you have to stay and come do it every 4, 5, 6 inches to make sure you stay ahead of the snow.
Thank you so much. As you can see, preparing for the snow is no easy job. While it may be fun for the students of George Mason, it's no walk in a winter wonderland for the maintenance crew.
I think it's fair to say that deep down everyone's a little bit excited for this year's first snowfall and to really see how the school handles it this year. That's it for this week, Mustangs. I'm Jack West, and thank you for watching Lasso TV.